What's up, everyone? Coming at you on a Tuesday night after game four. It's about 6:43. Um, First and foremost, I think everyone is thinking the same thing, and that's a speedy recovery to Jason Tatum. Um, Good guy in the league, and nobody wants to see that. When it happened, even my first reaction was, "Oh, come on! I don't want that happening." My wife looked at me and was like, "Did Nick get hurt?" And I'm like, "No, but I don't want to see injuries." So speedy recovery to Jason Tatum. A tough injury to come back from, but he's only 27, so I think next year's in question, but he should be back. I think fully 100%. But yeah, it kind of did put a little cloud over the win, but I think that all Knicks fans should be excited about what happened last night. The Knicks did something that they haven't done in a while, win a big game at home. And it was a big game. They go up 3-1, and, the talking heads on ESPN and all that stuff are going to say, well, the Knicks won because Tatum got hurt. Knicks were up by 9 when that happened, and by all accounts, they took control of that game. And it looked like the Celtics were running out of gas. They were about to run on E pretty quickly, I think, after that OG dunk. So, the Tatum injury sucks. It sucks to see, but I don't think the Celtics were winning game four, even if Tatum doesn't get hurt in that moment. Now, the rest of the series, you could say they could come back from 3-1. Absolutely. They're a championship team. Um, but going forward, it's going to be interesting to see how they come out for game five. But before we get into game five, let's talk about game four. I think that there's a number of players that need to be mentioned. Obviously, Brunson took over in the third quarter, and what can you say? How many times can we say that he's put the Knicks on his back and said we're not losing tonight? And last night was one of those nights. In that third quarter, he just said, "You know what? We're not losing tonight. We're not sending these fans home angry again. We're not doing it. Can't do it." And he started rolling. And I think as crazy it is, biggest shot he hit, Knicks were down 14. They left him wide open for three. He hit that three, and then all of a sudden started to, all right, let's go. And I'll add Towns into it too. Towns had some very good minutes in the third quarter. They just took over, and it felt like Brunson was like, all right, I'm gonna get Derek White, I'm gonna get Al Horford, I'm gonna get Porzingis on me, and I'm gonna go. I'm just gonna go right at him. And the thing is, Al Horford can't guard him. Porzingis can't guard him. I think the craziest thing was watching him hunt Derek White. And Derek White is kind of like their Josh Hart, except he can knock down threes at a pretty good clip. So it was kind of crazy to see it, but at any point, Brunson was he was in his bag. There was nothing else you can say about it. The second I named Towns, but the second player that needs to be mentioned is Mikal Bridges. He gets a lot of crap from a lot of fans, including yours truly. And all he did last night was shut everybody up. He came out in that fourth quarter to start the fourth. It was, I believe, Payne was in the game. Maybe, maybe not. But Towns was the only. I think it was Towns and him were the only two starters on the court. Maybe Hart was in the game too. And the offense ran through Bridges. Didn't run through Towns. Brunson was on the bench. It ran through Bridges, and he kept the Knicks up three, up five that entire time because the Celtics were scoring. Tatum was getting hot. Not get, I mean, he was hot all game, but he was starting to get into a flow, and the Celtics kept scoring, and Bridges kept them up 3 points, 5 points, and then Hart picks up his fifth foul, I don't know what the refs are looking at. And Hart comes back into the game, and they run with a lineup, or Brunson comes back into the game, and they run with a lineup of Brunson, Deuce, Bridges, OG, and they take out Towns as well, bring back OG and Mitch. And that lineup gave the Celtics fits because defensively, the Knicks were switching 1 through 5. And if you got into the lane, you had OG there, you had Mitch there, you had Bridges there, and the Knicks just were flying on defense. And then you had Bridges and Brunson going to work. But I'll say this, the biggest shot in the fourth quarter, there was two of them. Tatum went down. I think he either hit a three or had an and one, something like that, and the Celtics went up one. It was a three. Celtics went up one. Bridges came right back and hit a fadeaway with like no, it hit a fadeaway over Derek White. They went back up one. Then Bridges gets slides on Porzingis, makes Porzingis lose the ball. OG comes down, hits a layup. They're back up three. Huge sequence right there because the Celtics were starting to get a little bit of momentum. They went up one, and then the Knicks stopped them. Then Tatum hit the three to tie it, and then OG with the shot clock running down hits a three in Porzingis' face, and it was almost like, okay, settle down, back up three. Porzingis gets fouled and misses two free throws. Knicks went up five, then they went up seven, and then OG gets a steal where Tatum gets hurt, and they went up nine. And I don't think they were going to look back. I think at that point it kind of felt like Tatum had missed a couple shots before that. Kind of felt like the Celtics were okay, starting to lose it. And then the Knicks closed it, and you got a little glimpse of what the Celtics offense is going to be like without Tatum. They're going to have some trouble scoring, but we'll get into that in a second. I want to mention Towns more because I think Towns played a great game on both ends of the court. And you can scream and yell about the Tatum threes that he hit in Cat's face. I don't think there was much more Cat that can do. He could push up a little bit more. I think in the moment I got mad about it, but looking back on it, there's nothing more that Towns could do. He got to push up just a little bit, but I think his defense was great, and he picked his spots, but he was extremely efficient. He didn't hit any threes. He didn't have to, but as soon as they put Horford on him, he attacked him, and they were putting Tatum on him. They were putting Holiday on him. They were putting Derek White on him, and he played well. Um, Mitch was a beast, and they couldn't foul him because, thank God, the refs weren't calling anything on the Celtics because they couldn't foul him to put him on the line. And he was fantastic. That lineup with him, Cat, um, OG, Bridges, and Brunson was very good for in a short spurt. So everybody who's calling for him to start, he got a little, little thing to show Tibbs, but I didn't think Josh Hart played a great game. I actually think his fifth foul kind of changed the game a little bit for the Knicks in a good way. But, you know, he's Josh Hart, so he's always going to be all over the court. I just think the way the Celtics play him kind of hurts the Knicks a little bit, unless he's hitting threes. I thought Deuce gave them good minutes. Deuce, part of that closing lineup, really. I mean, until they came back with Hart and Towns with like 3 minutes left. He was great. Deuce was great. I think that obviously Mitch was great. So the crowd, it was good to see the people that were in the building, and we finally got to see a home big win. It was nice. It was very good to see. And I think the Knicks rode that crowd because that place was electric last night. Electric in the second half. And, Knicks go up 3-1. And obviously with Tatum out, one more. We got one more. So that leaves us it's game five. Game five tomorrow night at 7 o'clock in Boston. I think there's gonna be a lot of Knicks fans there. A lot. I think the ticket prices are plummeting. So I think people are gonna be taking that trip up to Boston and it's gonna be packed with Knicks fans. I think the Boston fan is kind of like, all right, we're done. I see a lot of talk from Boston fans of them basically writing the obituary for this core, which is kind of crazy. But I mean, I think that this core would have been broken up whether they won another championship or not. But you got to wonder what the psyche is of the Celtics. Now, I expect the Celtics to fight. They're a championship team. They're not going to lay down. But you have to wonder if the Knicks come out strong and the Celtics aren't really flowing on offense, how quickly they kind of let go of the rope. But it's hard to predict that with a championship team. You just don't expect a championship team to give up. And they were saying on ESPN that it was the quietest locker room they've ever been a part of. And I think with the Tatum injury being down 3-1, the Knicks have to play with that urgency. And I thought it was interesting. They were asking Brunson, like, were you asking Bridges to come over and talk in your interview? And he was like, no. I was telling everybody to get off the court and stop celebrating. And that's the attitude they need going into this game. That attitude right there. End it and be done with it. Do not give a Celtics team that is wounded, that is bleeding, any signs of life. Let them bleed out. And here's the problem. Jaylen Brown's going to take 30 shots tomorrow. He's taking 30 shots. Don't let somebody else go off with him. If Jaylen Brown wants to score 60 points in a loss, let him. Play the same defense, switch it up, and don't let anybody else beat you from three. I don't think Jaylen Brown is a phenomenal player. He's an all-star. He's a star in this league. He's a finals MVP. But without Tatum, they just don't have the person to run the offense. Their offense is a lot like the Knicks. It's one-on-one. It's find the mismatch and go to work and then read the game. The same offense. Except they have Jason Tatum running theirs. The Knicks have Jalen Brunson running theirs. Tatum does the same thing that Jalen Brunson does. He gets the mismatch and then he goes to work. And then if they double, he finds the open man. That's what Tatum does. And last night, without Tatum, if Tatum scores 20 points rather than 42, the Knicks win by 25. Because nobody else on that team, besides Derek White in the first half, was doing much of anything. But Derek White, every shot he got was off ball movement, offensive rebounds. So you can't. It's hard to project what the Celtics are going to look like tomorrow. It really is. Because I think the mental aspect is going to be tough enough. Then figuring out how they're going to perform offensively. It's now defensively, I wonder what they're going to do because I don't think they're going to start Pete Pritchard. Now, when Jaylen Brown was hurt at the end of the year, I think even when Jason Tatum missed a couple games, they always went with the two bigs. They went with Horford and Porzingis. The question is, if Porzingis can only play 15 minutes a game, that was his words, that he can only play 15 minutes. You're going to start him now? Or is he going to keep coming off the bench? Are you going to start Cornette and Horford? If you're starting Cornette and Horford, Cornette's not somebody you really have to guard on the 3-point line, so that changes their offense completely. Their offense is predicated on playing 5 out. And Drew Holiday's not really a point guard. He's not going to break down the defense and find the open man. He's a ball mover 3-and-D player. Same with Derek White. So really the offense is going to be on Jaylen Brown's shoulders, and the Knicks have guarded him well. Now, would it surprise me if Jaylen Brown went off for like 50 points tomorrow night? No, not at all. He's that type of player. So I think the Knicks do have to come correct tomorrow. They can't just expect to be done. They can't expect the Celtics to just lay down because I don't think they're going to. Now, if you're telling me in the second half the Knicks are up 10, 15, and the Celtics start to let go of the rope, yeah, I can believe that. But if you give them life, if it's a 5 point game in the second half, yeah, I expect the Celtics to play as hard as they possibly can to get this to a game six. But I think that what the Knicks have shown you now is they own the fourth quarter. They own it. It is their quarter, all playoffs, not just the series, all playoffs. It's their quarter. So I think if Tatum was playing, I'd say let's just get this to the fourth quarter and try to end it. Without Tatum, I want you to come for blood. Come for blood. Because I think that that place is going to be packed with Knicks fans. The Celtics are reeling. They're cut. They're more than cut. They're on the ground bleeding. They're on the ground bleeding. Let them bleed out. They're going to come out and chuck a bunch of threes. That's what they're going to do. That's going to be their game plan. Chuck a bunch of threes. Now, I don't think they're going to get the open looks that they normally do unless they get offensive rebounds, which the Knicks did a fantastic job, which I didn't mention yet. A fantastic job in the second half rebounding. They out rebounded the Celtics for the game, but in the second half, they did not give up offensive rebounds. It was a fantastic effort. And Mikal Bridges does not get enough credit for this. His rebounding in that game was amazing. Amazing. That's the reason, that's a big, big reason why they won that game. So I think game five is just about coming correct. You just got to come out with that urgency. You can't come out and expect the Celtics to lay down. That's not going to happen. Now, if you get up, they might. They might. So there's not much left to analyze about this series. Um, you kind of know what each team is going to bring. That's what a playoff series is by now. It's all right. We've taken each other's shots. We know who we are. Now we just got to bring our A game. It's really what it is. So I'm excited for Game Five. I'm not going to talk about anything else. No, we're not. We're not looking to the future. One more win. One more win, and the Knicks are in the Eastern Conference Finals. The first time in 25 years. I was 13. Crazy. Crazy, crazy, crazy. But I hope everybody enjoyed the win. I hope everybody who was in New York got home safely. And let's hope we enjoy another win tomorrow night. Come out strong, come out firing. Let's get another win. Let's end this series and let's get to the Eastern Conference Finals. And 7 o'clock. So I'm gonna go and enjoy the Pacers Cavs game and enjoy the Nuggets OKC game. Hope everybody else enjoys those games. Like, comment, subscribe. I think that's it. And I'll talk to you guys after game five. Hopefully it's to preview game one of the Eastern Conference Finals, but if not, it's time to preview game six where we're all sweating. So everyone have a good night. Let's go Knicks. Let's get to the Eastern Conference Finals. One more, guys. One more. Have a good night.